I have faith that the Constitution will be saved as prophesied by Joseph Smith. But it will not be saved in Washington.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. Yeah, I know, this is a supplement to the final video, so it's still part of the final video. And it's put on the other channel because YouTube still will not let me post videos. Apparently, I have until Wednesday when they will let me go. At least that's what they claim. When they shut down this channel, the old channel, they made that same claim as well, and yeah, they didn't keep that. So I'm not expecting YouTube to keep their promise on this one either. In warfare, the one thing that an enemy must do before striking is cut off communications of the people who they're attacking. That's exactly what YouTube has done to me. They did it prematurely because I was revealing, exposing the enemy and their plans in advance. And that's why YouTube had to shut me down. I did the last video covering Ether chapter 13. In verse 13, and I was about to write more, but I am forbidden. YouTube forbade me from posting more videos. The great and marvelous were the prophecies of Travis, but Mormons esteemed him as not, and they cast him out, and Travis hid himself in his man cave. And by day and by night, Travis would go running and view the whole valley. Get a great view from the railroad tracks. So yeah, if you don't catch the symbolism and the code that I'm trying to teach you about the Book of Mormon, you've missed the whole point. The thumbnails I use are specifically designed as symbols, as coded messages for the content of the video, which also can have coded messages and symbolisms. When going over church history, both Mormons and ex-Mormons are not reconciling contradictions. For example, the first vision. Mormons believe it was a real event, that Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ of the Gospels appeared in the flesh, in their glorified state, to Joseph Smith, who had not gotten baptized, not received the gift of the Holy Ghost, not gone through the temple to be washed and anointed to be able to be presented at the veil, to then enter into the veil, into the presence of God. Yeah. How did Joseph do that again? For ex-Mormons, oh, well, Joseph is a fraud. He's a liar. He's trying to con us. He's trying to deceive us. Oh my God. So that it's very important to not just jump to conclusions. that you take all the evidence, all the facts, and line them all up. Do it on paper if you have to, because there's tons of stuff you got to line up. And make sure that every question is answered. Because that's what you're doing. You're investigating. You're trying to find out the real church history. And so the church was upset with September 6th, as I understand the news reported D. Michael Quinn had died just the other day, so I was not able to do a video on that. I've been silenced to report on him, especially when the news came out and said he was a believer to the end. He was excommunicated. He did his trilogy on the Mormon hierarchy. He's not a believer. What are you talking about? So, yeah, the church is even rewriting modern history. It's just sickening. And so, you're going to miss what is really going on. And I've been telling you the Book of Mormon is coded. Again, for those of you who don't know, or don't want to know, the Doctrine and Covenants in 1981, that edition, the church had hired, well, they didn't hire, they appointed, or laying on of hands. I was one of them for the 2009 editions of the foreign language editions. But church service missionaries worked on trying to decode the Doctrine and Covenants. I've been going over, they missed some. They let you believe that it was only after 1835 that they encoded the Doctrine and Covenants, so the 1835 edition. No. From the beginning, they encoded the Doctrine and Covenants. They just encoded Joseph's name later in 1835. And so, if the Doctrine and Covenants is coded as the Smiths Know code, you're not making the connection that they could have done other things? I mean, Mormons believe that Joseph Smith translated the Book of Mormon by the gift and power of God, as it used to be translated. Now it's received revelation. That's what the gift and power of God now means. With one rock, rather than the other two rocks that were the actual rocks that Joseph used in a hat. But critics, LDS ex-Mormons, think that, again, it's all fraud. Ex-Mormons, you know the Book of Mormon is not a real history. You know Sidney Rigdon is the author. Why then are you messing things up by putting Joseph into the picture with his hat and rock trick? What's going on, guys? You know, I understand YouTube is censoring me. They're forbidding me from revealing the truth. And then only a few of you are getting in. But I've had comments from ex-Mormons saying, well, the other guys have better video quality, Travis. Again, the church is not trying to assassinate them. They're trying to assassinate me. They're trying to silence me. Do you not get this? And so, yes, I expose the crimes of the church, not just the lies. Ex-Mormons only cover lies. And so they say, yeah, another example of the church lying to us. Joseph Smith lied. And you miss the real church history. So here, I've been talking about the code. We are now in 3 Nephi chapter 7. Now behold, will show unto you that they did not establish a king over the land, but in this same year, in the 30th year, they did destroy upon the judgment seat, yea, did murder the chief judge of the land. They did not have the three branches of government. If you remember, Mosiah gave up the kingdom and created a reign of judges with a constitution called the Laws of Mosiah, which were supposed to be judged by the judges. Well, a secret combination, and the great and abominable church came in with the kingmen, the trilogy of terror, to destroy the government. And here they make their move. And so we have a death of a chief judge. Now, which year? 30th? Is it possible this could be code? Has anybody been listening to me about Canandaigua, New York in 1826? Code? When was the Jewish New Year? The Book of Mormon says we're the learning of the Jews. Oh, yeah, it's the 3,333 years. Oh, the Scottish rites have that double eagle and 33-degree masonry. Not the same as the York rites of the Smiths. I saw that they're selling a portrait of the original Canandaigua jail online. Obtained the picture for myself. It's made available for free, though they're actually selling the original through a bidding thing. But yeah, Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the eve of the start of the Jewish New Year. And I understand that a certain event that is coming up on Wednesday, only Justice Roberts, the chief judge of the land, will be in attendance. It's a real history, right, Mormons? So it has no direct application to our days. It's just all lies, right, ex-Mormons? It can't possibly be coded. Right, ex-Mormons? And the people were divided one against the other, and they did separate one from another into tribes. Now they say that it's family groups and friends. Do we not have a divided union with GOP states and Democrat states? What does the church want? They want the federal government destroyed so that Utah can become a nation like Deseret, and that the church can run it again and restore the kingdom. And have you been paying attention to what they want to do? Have you? Or do you just accept whatever the church does and don't look for the crimes? The church wants to have only Mormons employed with the church. If the church runs the whole state of Utah, they own all businesses. Who will then be employed? Only Mormons with temple recommends. John says that they'll have the number of the beast to buy and sell. Temple recommend has a number. The number of the beast. I thought that was interesting. I thought the beast was Trump. John must have gotten that one wrong. And so, thus they did destroy the government. Took out the chief judge, destroyed the federal government. Yeah, it's just a real history, or it's just lies. right? And so here we also find where I covered this, let's see, verse 9. Now the secret combination which had brought so great iniquity upon the people did gather themselves together, and did place at their head a man whom they did call Jacob. Jacob is Hebrew for usurper. So a usurper is usurping the government right now. Not a coincidence, it's a code. And they did call him their king. I wonder who that could be. And it came to pass that they were not so strong in number as the people, who were united together, save it were their leaders did establish their laws, every one according to his state. Nation state now. Constitution is destroyed. Remember Joseph Smith? The Constitution will hang by a thread, but the Mormons will save it. Oops. Because Benson sort of said, no, Joseph Smith is a liar. The government will not be saved. The Constitution will not be saved in Washington. We'll have our own Constitution where only Mormons can live. Yeah, because it's peaceful here in Utah, isn't it? It's sure a place of safety, isn't it? A place of refuge. Yeah. Have you not been paying attention to the number of sexual crimes that have been committed here in Utah? The number of murders by Mormons? Yeah. Fulfillment of prophecy. Prophecy accomplished. The people were united in their hatred against those who had entered into a covenant to destroy the government. And they did it. They destroyed the government. But nonetheless, Jacob and his people flee. So that has already happened. He fled southward instead of northward. Went to Florida. Gave up his New York apartment. Do you not get it? In the first year of the reign of the king of Jerusalem, who was put on the throne by Babylon, Nephi is born with the sign of his birth that Lehi has, as well as the sign of his death, merged into one, as Lehi is given a book of the destruction of Babylon, or by Babylon, of Jerusalem. Babylon is said to be destroyed as well in Revelation and in section 1, verse 16. Yeah, it's a real word, Travis. Babylon will be destroyed. It's a real thing. It's not code. Are you sure? Are you sure? And so, yeah, oh, look at this. Nephi is here in 3rd Nephi. Isn't that a coincidence? Nephi is at the beginning. Nephi is here at the end with the sign of the death. And I've gone over that with you. I've gone over with you that Samson tells us the sign of the death. And so, what more is there to warn you about? The Capitol Police warned us in February that they were receiving communication that there was going to be another attack whenever Biden holds his State of the Union. That's Wednesday. I've already contacted the FBI. I had a guy comment this morning, or last night, who said, oh, we're the LDS Intelligence Agency. That was his channel name. And he said, call this number to let the church know. It's the FBI number here in Utah. Already contacted them. But thank you. They have a tip line online. I reached out already. I've already contacted the FBI, the DOJ, the president, and even Mitt Romney. I didn't want to contact Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney's been a bad, bad boy. But the Spirit said, let him know. All right, fine, I'll let him know. And so I let Romney know. I didn't want to let you know. The Spirit told me to let you know, so I'm letting you know. I saw that they almost murdered you on the 6th. And so I'm warning you now. Stay away from the State of the Union. There will be an attack. I referenced 3 Nephi 7. I referenced the Capitol Police warning of it. I have found out that they're only going to have 200 out of 1,600. Yet, what do you think is going to happen if an attack is made? Not like the 6th, but by bombs that the Capitol Police are warning about. The church is paying all these different groups who are attacking. They launder the money so that it can't be traced, but they're paying for it. Because remember, Nelson, Solemn Assembly, the announcement of the temples, and a major city yet to be determined in Russia. Yeah, they're our enemy. Putin wants to destroy us, and Nelson's doing business with them. Well, if you're Mormon, oh yeah, we're going to convert them to the church. If you're ex-Mormon, you're going, yeah, all right, it's just a business deal. It's a crime. What the hell? It's a crime. It's called treason. It's called sedition. Wake up, people. My God. But there's only going to be a few of you. If you've noticed, I've got almost 70 for the last final video I did on the old channel. Notice the one about for sale it? That has nothing to do with the church or anything like that. It's a guy who ran his own business who attacked me on YouTube. But nonetheless, almost 300. That is low for that channel. And this one barely is at 70. Yeah. If you don't understand how analytical programs work, you're not going to understand the crime that YouTube is committing against me. That YouTube is purposely silencing me so that you don't find out that the Book of Mormon is true. That there's a warning that is coming for Wednesday. That there's a warning for the after effects of what happens on Wednesday. Because you notice there are certain governments that are our enemies, that became our friends under a certain president who was put in by Russia. In the year of the sign of the birth, who lost, as 3 Nephi 7 points out to us. He lost. He loses the 2020 election. And it's all right here in the year 3333. The double 33 of the Scottish Rites, which were the enemy of which Brigham and Heber were a part of. Yeah, I wonder if they had anything to do with anything. So yeah, it's just, it is horrifying to hear Mormons also comment about how, oh, Joseph Smith is a fraud, but the church is true. Literally, I'm not kidding. They're not thinking. I just, wow, okay, yeah, you go with that. You go around preaching to people on your missions that, no, Joseph Smith is a fraud, but he's our founder, and the church is true. Oh my God. Oh my God, is that how you're excusing Brigham Young? Really? Okay, have fun with that. So yeah, oh my God. So yeah, this is supplement 2. Like I said, I've already informed the government. I've warned them. I'm trying to get through to them. They're not responding. The Attorney General, though, he came out this past week and quoted me. So he at least knows. You know, similar to Barr. When I filed the lawsuit of RICO's sedition against the church the second time around, he then went before the prosecutors and said, hey, I just learned about this thing called sedition law. Do it against the Black Lives Matter. So yeah, they are aware of me. They know. I've been warning you. YouTube are the enemy. They don't want you to hear this information. They don't want you to know that the church and YouTube and other social media are all silencing the information coming up to this event. The attack is imminent. And I'm trying to warn you